along the lines of you really can't make this up, and I suppose technically I did. Um, Apparently, TJ Hughes has been heavily fined for claiming that it's an essential retailer and selling because it sells face masks. I mean, as I've said before, really, what did people expect? I believe there have been some other stores that sell food that have claimed they're essential retailers, even though it's just a very small section of a otherwise electronics based store or some other item that they sell. But this is a problem. Supermarkets, of course, for their part, have remained open and have remained selling non essential items, quite understandably. We all recall the incident where a gentleman walked through Tesco in or tried to walk through Tesco in his underpants, declaring that clothes were non-essential and therefore he didn't need to wear them in the store. It is absurd, because what is essential is very much a matter of perspective. How can you say clothing is non-essential, particularly for young children who may grow quite quickly and may run through their shoes quite quickly and so on, and on the other hand, look at a candy store which sells food and is therefore allowed to remain open in my city centre? It's absurd. And of course, for their parts, people are going to bend the rules. And of course, people are wandering around the city centres. I've been into the city centres for exactly the same reason. I know how they feel. I go for my exercise in the city centre because I enjoy activity and noise. And I like the takeaway in the city centre as well. But people are wandering around in the city centre just because they have very little to do, and it's strangely comforting to be around other people. Groups of school children getting off school at 4, hanging around, not necessarily socially distancing in the city centre, just sitting around in places, and there's just too much to enforce. And you can't really. The COVID marshals, they have their silly little yellow cards, like they're some referee, but they have very little power, and there aren't enough police to do anything about it. And ultimately, there needs to come a point where the government simply admits people have lost patience with them, and that there is now no choice but to have a constant trajectory of easing restrictions. Otherwise, they will just be laughed at.